Canadians are refusing to go to the U.S. The numbers are down like 23% in the first 7 months of the year. What do you say to Canadians that don't want to go to the U.S. now because of your 51st state talk, because of the trade war, the tariffs, and the fear of also being detained at the border?
And Americans don't want to buy cars that are made in Canada. You know, I mean, we have the same conflict. So there isn't. It's something that will get worked out. There's still great love between the two countries, but you know, American people want product here. They want to make it here. Detroit was emptied out and moved to Canada, moved to Mexico, moved to other places, not just Canada. And now they're all moving back, you know. Again, we want Canada to do great, but, you know, there's a point at which we also want the same business. We're competing for the same business. That's the problem. That's why I keep mentioning one way to solve that problem is a very easy way, but we're competing for the same business. He wants to make cars, we want to make cars, and we're in competition. And the advantage we have is we have this massive market. So it's
Something strange is happening at the border. Canadians, once America's closest friends and travel partners, are saying no thanks to the United States. Empty hotel rooms, quiet shopping malls, and canceled road trips, all signs of a growing divide between two countries that used to move as one. Why? It's not just about politics or prices, it's about pride, safety, and the feeling that crossing that line isn't what it used to be. Trump was recently asked about this rising wave of Canadians refusing to travel south, and his reaction, it said more than words ever could. This isn't just a travel story, it's a warning shot about where North America's relationship is heading next. Because when friends stop visiting, they start drifting apart. For generations, crossing the border between Canada and the United States was almost a ritual: summer road trips, weekend shopping sprees, family reunions. The line between the two nations wasn't a wall, it was a bridge. A living example of trust, trade, and friendship that powered both economies for decades. But something has shifted. Ask around in Toronto, Vancouver, or Montreal today and you'll hear the same thing: it's just not worth it anymore. Rising tensions, endless security checks, political chaos, all of it is making Canadians second-guess what used to be a casual drive south. And at the center of this growing divide stands one man, Donald Trump. Since his return to the spotlight, Trump's rhetoric toward Canada has hardened. He's criticized their economy, mocked their leadership, and questioned long-standing trade deals that have kept both nations afloat. His message is clear: America first, no exceptions, not even for allies. The result: Canadians are quietly responding with their wallets and their passports. Travel data shows a noticeable drop in cross-border visits. Businesses in U.S. border towns, from Buffalo to Bellingham, are starting to feel the sting. What used to be bustling weekend hotspots now sit half-empty. The irony: Canada has always been one of America's most loyal partners, politically, economically, and militarily. They've stood shoulder to shoulder in wars, climate efforts, and trade alliances. Yet today, that partnership feels more fragile than ever. When Trump was recently asked about Canadians refusing to travel to the U.S., his answer wasn't reassurance, it was defiance. A shrug that spoke volumes: if they don't want to come, that's their loss. But here's the truth he's ignoring: this isn't just about tourism. It's about perception, respect, and identity. Canadians aren't boycotting America out of hate, they're reacting to a changing atmosphere. An America that feels less like a friend and more like a warning sign. And if that perception spreads beyond travelers, beyond borders, it could redefine what North American unity really means in the years ahead. Make no mistake, this isn't just a travel story anymore. It's a battle for influence, pride, and political control. On one side, you have Donald Trump, a man who thrives on confrontation. To him, every relationship, every deal, every handshake is a transaction. If America isn't winning, someone must be cheating. His push for America first has always been a double-edged sword. It wins cheers at home, but burns bridges abroad. And now Canada, America's quiet, reliable neighbor, is starting to feel the heat. Trump's goal is simple: project dominance. Show strength, force allies back to the table on his terms. He sees Canada's hesitation not as a warning, but as weakness. But here's the twist: Canada isn't backing down. Prime Minister Mark Carney's government has been subtly countering U.S. pressure, investing in domestic manufacturing, tightening trade partnerships with Europe and Asia, and building a national identity less dependent on American approval. Behind the scenes, Canadian leaders are preparing for a future where Washington's moods no longer dictate their economy. Meanwhile, American border towns, the very places that once benefited from free-flowing Canadian tourism, are starting to lose business. Hotel owners, shopkeepers, and local workers are quietly paying the price for this political tug-of-war. Trump wants to appear strong, Canada wants to stay proud. But both are losing something bigger: trust. Because when politics turns friendship into a battlefield, ordinary people end up as collateral damage. The question now isn't who's right, it's who can afford to keep fighting.